it took me a minute to get this up and running. I should have did it before I got here, but like we were busy as heck with the new company stuff and hiring people and sitting on the back of the boat right now. We're in the Cuban Havana bar. Let's see here. Let's get some. Here we go. Beautiful day in Miami. Hopefully it's streaming okay. You guys can see it. It's a good morning to you, crypto Twitter and crypto enthusiasts, my dudes. We're in Miami. We're kicking off the Ravencoin day one. We're on the boat. Hopefully the quality is good. It says we have good 5G access today. This is the little jacuzzi bar area that we're going to be on at the back of the boat. I haven't seen Tron or anybody yet. We're gonna try to find some people. I know there's several Ravencoin folks here. We'll try to grab everybody at some point. I think we're meeting back here once this ship goes live and we're out of port. And it's a nice day outside. Switch back to this camera. All right, so what is all going to happen on this cruise? So I would like to do a couple fireside chats with Tron. I want to see what's going on from a Ravencoin development standpoint. Talk NFTs, talk development path when it comes to like any kind of DEX swap stuff. A lot of things when it comes to the DeFi markets have a lot to do with the ability to exchange from one currency to another, and folks that can play arbitrage and all the other fun DeFi liquidity games. And it really helps any network that has that access. That's why you see a lot of volume on some of these other smaller coins that come out and are, built off the ERC20, or even now Solana's tokens that are getting some momentum, and get enriched from that large ecosystem on the DeFi side. So seeing, Ravencoin being able to participate in that, I think is a critical thing. Oh, look at these. I hear you, my dudes. Lots of swans, seagulls. Gonna zoom into that. Such a nice day in Miami. I mean, this place is beautiful. Let's switch back. So while this it's cool, it's a cruise, it's a way to get away from stuff, it's a way to focus. I mean, I like a lot of people are like, why would you go on a cruise for like 7-8 days? It's because I can focus on the content related to Ravencoin. We talk about Ravencoin quite a bit. I would like to do this for a Bitcoin one. I would like to do this for just general ecosystem and anybody that's miners. I would love to have a miner cruise where you just get a bunch of miners together on a cruise. We should plan that. I don't know why we haven't done that yet. It's very mining centric. We can talk best practices. We can talk suppliers, how we handle cleanup and maintenance, all of those things. I would love to have good interaction with folks, and it kind of gives us a good swath of content that we can get out there for the community. So hashtag 2022, we need to get a cruise together for miners. I know several folks would be into that, and maybe do a group raid. If you guys want us to try to plan that, let us know, and Miss BBT and I and the team here at BBT will see if what we can do, make some calls and get something set up. I think that would be cool. It's just hard, I know, to get people away for 7 days, 8 days. Everybody has lives, they have kids. There's different, you have to have COVID shots and all that for, on one of these boats. It was like going through, 4 phases of like multiple people checking vaccine cards and stuff to get on here. So that's a little different. But yeah, it's pretty nuts. You guys want to see some more of this skyline? Somebody said mining cruise. Yeah, that's the other thing. Anybody that's a crypto miner and has a spouse that's like not, I mean, they're totally digging it, especially right now from a, you know, a revenue rate. But like if the spouses are not super into the different crypto related content, they would definitely be into this skyline and getting on a boat. You have some of that too. There we go. There's a few folks on here right now. A mining cruise. I'm not gonna tell my old lady she ain't coming. Rare peep. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get Miss BBT. We're gonna do a walk of the boat. We came straight back. We're back here in the little Havana cabanas. So back here, give you guys a little tour. So this is kind of it's not a private area. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of folks here, but this back here is kind of this bar is only if you have these like cabana suites. So each of these are like little areas that are kind of cordoned off with their own like little balcony areas with a swing on them. And then you have a little larger room with a sliding door. And then this like hallway right here, this is all private for the folks that are in this, setup here. And then you have access on both sides of the ship, have this kind of setup. And then the folks that have this area get this back bar to themselves with a couple jacuzzis. So this is the Carnival Horizon. Typically we do the Royal Caribbean. Miss BBT and I has been on like, I don't know, 5, 6 Royal Caribbeans, different ships and stuff. We're usually Royal Caribbean, but this was picked by the Ravencoin community to do Carnival. So this is our first Carnival ship. So this is the Horizon. It's one of their larger ones. So we'll see how that goes. Wish we got into mining earlier. This looks like I missed the boat on that one. No, man, like mining's one of those things that you don't really miss the boat on it. It's more of, your yields go down, but then as price discovery happens, you start making your yields back up. Mining's not going anywhere. It's a critical piece of infrastructure from a security standpoint for crypto networks. Many crypto networks are very pro mining. There's a lot of infrastructure in place for mining. Let's switch this back to where you guys can see. I keep showing off this kind of back area here, but these are the two, it's like kind of a pool area. And then there's each one of these sections up here have a hot tub, and I'm like literally standing, almost falling into one right now. Let's see if I can navigate this gimbal. This is a hot tub. But if you guys have questions for Tron and the team that's going to be here on Ravencoin, if you're trying to build something, I want to make sure that this gets as nerdy as we can get it. And what I mean by that is if you're a developer and you're thinking of getting into this space, this is one of the series I wanted to cover, is a genuine cradle to grave, how to set up your development environment, how to start contributing to code, to code development. Maybe it's bug fixes, maybe you have an idea on implementing on crypto in general. I want to have that available for everybody. And there's several really good videos that I have found on YouTube that I want to make sure I'm sharing with folks. That, to not only bring content of those creators that have spent the time to explain to people how to set up their IDE or their development environment, and how to get into development even if you're a beginner, how to contribute, because that's the key part about crypto. That's the other key part, is you need developers, you need people building things that take advantage of this permissionless, decentralized infrastructure and starts to realize its real value, not just in price discovery of a token. And that comes with the usage, it comes with the utility of it. It's not all pump and dumps. Like, there's real value in these networks. So I want to make sure that people have access to that information and can contribute in ways So this is the, let's see here, MC Ask, One Ducking Miner says, what ship is this? This is the Horizon from Carnival. It's one of their larger ships. That there is the Disney cruise ship, and this is the cruise port. This little waterway here is where all the cruise ships in Miami come and park. Somebody says, ah ha ha, Ravencoin's decentralized. Ha ha, okay, that was funny. Well, I mean, anybody can make a comment, but you know, show the data where you don't think it's decentralized. I do know that if I plug in a miner anywhere on this planet, I can point to Ravencoin and I can contribute hash rate there. The hash rate right now is around 9 terahash. The distribution of nodes are worldwide. The hash rate is worldwide. It's more decentralized than a lot of other currencies. There are some very large wallets those large wallets are exchanges. So when you have exchanges, if you look at the early days of Mt. Gox, it had close to 65% of all the available Bitcoin in Mt. Gox back in 2011 when Mt. Gox was about the only exchange next to BTCE out there. So some of it's understanding history and how the allocation of these coins work. But this is all you can do is help people participate, and if people participate, it does become more decentralized as more people participate. That's what's going on also with Bitcoin, where you have not a concentration of Bitcoin mining right now that used to be in China with over 70% of the Bitcoin mining now has been distributed across multiple continents. Russia and Kazakhstan, you have several other countries throughout the entire Southeast Asia through South America. America now having some of the largest amount of concentration when it comes to about 36 to 38%. Canada, we're going to be up in Canada looking at DMG's blockchain standpoint. And then looking at, hopefully I can get to HUT 8 and we can see, you know, their different things that they're mining, including and not limited to Ravencoin, Ethereum, and a few others. Mind Your Business says, I like how decentralized Ravencoin is. I don't like how DeFi projects haven't incorporated. I think a lot of that comes down to the same thing, and I'll talk to this because a lot of people ask the questions on this. So when we start talking like DeFi projects on Ravencoin, Ravencoin essentially is a clone of Bitcoin. And then with that clone of Bitcoin code, they implemented the asset layer, which adds, you know, 3 distinct layers. So you have a fixed asset like NFT style. You can deploy what's equivalent to an ERC20 token, where you can have multiple assets underneath that. So essentially, Ravencoin took what Ethereum had from an ERC20 into 721, and they added both of those layers. But they did it in a layer 1 style protocol, to where you still have all the layer 1 issues with that, right? So if there was a massive adoption of Ravencoin would have the exact same problem as something like Ethereum right now, because it is still layer 1. So there's no layer 2 right now, no equivalent to a Lightning Network or any of that. That's roadmap stuff. That's stuff that I think you get some in development and some initiative around adding a layer 2. When it comes to DeFi, it would have to have a bridge, and this is one of the things I wanted to talk to Tron on. You know, not just what's on the roadmap from a Ravencoin core development standpoint, but from his vantage point and talking and helping people that are trying to build on Ravencoin. What is the opportunity when it comes into creating like a DeFi bridge, and do they have to use something like Cosmos to make that happen? Because you don't have, you know, a pancake swap or a Uniswap type of connection, right? You don't have this standard that Binance copying, you know, Ethereum was able to create, you know, the Binance chain, which has a very easy interoperability with Ethereum, which means your pancake swap and your sushi swap and your 1inch and your all of those, Uniswap, all of those different swapping automatic market maker developments have easy interoperability, because it's not that complicated now than if you have something that's built off of Ethereum, an EVM based thing. You can have all of this quick interoperability between chains. Works the same way with some of the stuff that comes from Solana and its derivatives. If you're talking the secret network, the SCRT, or any of those, anything that's based off that first layer one, it's easy to create those. Well, easy is relative. It's developer time. There's a lot of effort, but it's just the resistance isn't as hard. So to get something like Ravencoin, or let's just use some of the other coins out there. Let's look at Monero. Let's look at Decred. Let's look at some of the early coins out there, Purecoin, a couple of the other layer ones that were SHA-256 based that became forks of Bitcoin. Trying to get them interoperable with something like Ethereum is a little more complicated. And that's where I think the Cosmos network comes in, where they were trying to be the internet of blockchains, essentially the switching station that would allow layer one chains to be able to interact with other chains. So I think having that discussion with Tron to see, what's the complication with trying to have, a quick swap between SushiSwap from like a wrapped Raven. At the end of the day, that's the easiest approach, is you would redeploy Ravencoin effectively as an ERC20, and you would create something called a wrapped Ravencoin, and then you would create that symbolic connection between wrapped Raven and then Raven. So then you have that interconnect to when you're swapping, essentially you're doing an atomic transaction and then getting wrapped Raven. So WRVN on Ethereum's network, Tron's network, if you're talking TR20, you're talking Binance's network, then you would have this quote-unquote representation atomically on those other swaps. So then you would just have to transfer your Ravencoin over to those networks in that wrapped fashion. And that's why you see like wrapped Bitcoin on something like Ethereum, or on Ethereum is the WBTC. And that's essentially liquidity that's locked up, that's supposed to be locked up on both sides. So if people are locking up their Bitcoin to come over to Ethereum on wrapped Bitcoin, that Bitcoin's not moving around on Bitcoin. It's locked up because now its representation is on Ethereum. So who said I wouldn't be having a good live stream out here with all of you guys on the Ravencoin cruise? This isn't just all fun, my dudes. This is talking nerd stuff. I love it. I wish I could read the chat more. It keeps popping up, right? There's more wrapped Bitcoin than BTC locked on Lightning. Still, it's even with Lightning's growth. Well, it's because of the access to what the ecosystem that Ethereum brings, right? You're going to get a lot more participation on wrapped Bitcoin than on Lightning, because Lightning has a different commitment level. Meaning, like, if you have Bitcoin and you want to interact with it on Ethereum's network, getting wrapping Bitcoin is not as complicated as going out and setting up a Lightning channel if you're going to do a lot of business. Now, you can go get a Lightning wallet. It's not that complicated. And then you pay a micro fee, from using people's different Lightning nodes. But, like, the barrier to entry, I think Zap and a few of the other, Strike and a few of the others that are really changing the barrier from a Lightning standpoint for Bitcoin is going to help it. But like, I have a different philosophy than most when it comes to, I look at the interoperability of everything. If everybody wants to, I should be setting this way, my dudes. That's a much better view. Who wants to look at the back of a boat? I want to make sure that people have an understanding that it's all going to be there. People are going to be building, developers are going to be building on all of these different networks, right? They're going to be having, and the reason why they're doing that is because they have influence to make change. I had a conversation with somebody, we were in line here, getting onto this Ravencoin cruise, and we were just talking like, crypto and just the space in general. And, the guy asked me a very valid question. The guy goes, hey man, I've tried to understand crypto. A lot of people are telling me to pick up all this weird shit. I have a Coinbase account, but like, what is like all these, why are there so many different cryptocurrencies? What's going on? And that's the way I explained it to him was like, you're going to have folks that are going to try to take advantage of a situation, and they're going to create pump and dumps where it's just purely a profit play. The only thing they're trying to do is make revenue. And then you're going to have people that are more than likely developers that started out and they want it to make an influence of a change. Like they learn crypto, they find somewhere in the space that makes sense for them, they start learning how to develop on it, and then they're like, you know what, I want to make a change. I have an idea. And then they can't influence that idea to get into like an Ethereum improvement plan, an EIP. You can't get it into a BIP from Bitcoin. You may go into another community that's a little more, allows you to make some change. But then eventually somebody just gets tired of it and they say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to make my own coin and I'm going to do the things that I know how to do and develop. And they have a vision. Now what ends up happening is a lot of those kind of visions get kind of clouded over with what's the fundamentals of the coin, right? And you lose that texture that it was just somebody that had a vision and trying to build something, and circumstantially it has a coin because that's the rails that it's going to run on. And then there's some profit and some incentive motives that get messed up because now you have a founder's reward and all that kind of stuff. That's why I always like the proof of work concept of being able to distribute the funds through people that are going to put effort on the security side, and then developers now can have fundraising from either using a DAO or using a foundation to then get people to donate for some of those features and sets. And then it's jobs of the influencers and people that are talking to help make sure that people get awareness of where to donate, where to spend the investment time for those folks that are going to go try to build that stuff. That's where it's something that, the best thing that would come out of something like a Ravencoin cruise like this is talk to the developers here that are going to be here and see what their vision is and what do they need. Do they need help? Do they need financial support? All that kind of stuff. So, and then make people aware, like, hey, here's their roadmap, here's what they're tracking to, here's what they're missing on. And I think that's what gets them there. What's my thoughts on Raptorium? I did actually take a look at it, a CPU coin. I mean, it looks like it has some good developers and good spirited people. That being said, I've always been kind of neutral on CPU coins, mainly because the incentive motive on CPU coins usually promote, unfortunately, people that are going to try to build botnets around them. Because if you can get a huge amount of CPU, or get somebody to like if you attack a school or something like that, has a lot of computational power, the incentive is there to take over that. And that's the complexity is a little less when it comes to creating a botnet to use people's CPUs to mine your coin. So it's the only thing I'm afraid of. That's what ends up happening. So if any kind of liquidity comes on Raptorium, and then people are like, man, my Ryzen whatever, if it's a Ryzen 9, my Threadripper is not making much money anymore on Raptorium, but there's a huge amount of hash rate. What ends up happening is it isn't because people are trying to go long on it. It's because probably a botnet now has been built on it, and there's a whole bunch of CPUs and fucking refrigerators and stuff mining Raptorium. So that's part of the problem with CPU mining. GPU's a little harder, right? You need GPUs. There's not a lot of powerful GPUs that people are going to take over from that kind of stuff, and I think that's part of the issue, part of the thing. Reading some of your guys' comments out here. I think Ravencoin's going to explode in January. Thanks, BBT. I have no idea. I do know that it's going through halving in January. It's at 5,000 coins per 1 minute right now. It's going to go to 2,500 coins per 1 minute. And if you look at any fair market launch coin that's had a halving, it's always done pretty decent on price discovery. So, part of that gets an initial noise of just what the halving coming up. I think that if you have FTX and you have Coinbase listed, that'll be a big liquidity event for it. But I think it really comes back down to, Ravencoin has to prove itself on, what can it provide, and, in the stack. And I think that helps get some of it done. Miss BBT's down there by herself. What do you think, boys? We should probably go down there and Pay attention to her. See what else is going on here. Miami looking good. We set sail at 4 p.m. local time, and it is 1 p.m. local time going on 1, so 81 degrees here in Miami. Let me switch this camera around again. Look at you beautiful people here. All right. How's the quality in the video? Can you guys hear me? Is it very loud? Make sure I don't fall down this thing. But I like Miami. Yeah, it's 81 degrees. It's beautiful. I'm walking into a pool right now. Oh, cold water. I was standing there. You want to take a walk? Give them a little tour of the ship. Oh yeah, I do have shoes, don't I? I should probably go switch my sandals. Oh, they can't switch my sandals yet, can I?
They're in the suitcase. You don't have that.
Awesome. Can you put that back together? Kind of. It's the framework of my phone. Actually, put my phone in it. Here we go. My other phone. I think it has to go into that thing first. Slip and fall on those cool cruises are crazy. Yeah. Yeah, here's well, I'm under the tent here. Let's switch this. Look at you guys.
Sir.
It's BBT. Yeah, there's these little seats in the water area here. So there's you can put your feet up on the yeah. So this whole little area right here is like all underwater. She's trying to put this together. You got it. You did it.
I'm smart.
You smart.
Gotta show them Guys Burgers.
Yeah, let's take a walk.
Guys Burgers is supposed to be
We got the other.
Oh, you gotta put your shoes on here.
Oh yeah.
Is it looking at you or out?
It's looking at me. I can switch it looking out, and you can give them like kind of a. Miss BT's gonna take it over for a second.
The non-pro. Hey, what's up? Oh no! Oh, first fail of the week. My mask just fell in the water. Rip. How many times has that happened, right? My mask just fell in the water.
She just dropped her mask in the water. That's hilarious.
It's never happened to anyone ever. You are the first one.
I'm just special.
I'm gonna set you guys down right here,
I know, right?
and then I'm gonna go right here.
Did it really say 2,000 people?
No, it's 97 wonderful people that are watching us and watching me try to put my shoes on.
What's the 2,000 thing in the corner?
That's 20 minutes. Well, it's okay though. That's what you do on these. She's like, there's 2,000 people. I'm like, no, it's been online for 28 minutes. Actually, I think I'm just gonna slip my shoes on. Got my Bitcoin Adidas shoes. I thought she said she was smart.
I did.
Rip.
I did. I lied.
All right, let's get this. You got your shoes. I really wish I would brought my sandals. That's hilarious. Yep. Let's go back to the real quick. Because I want to see if it.
We can do it from the outside. He really did not want us to come back. Let's leave that.
That was a while back. Let's take a little walk, my dudes. See what's going on in this boat. You guys can ask questions while we're doing this. I mean, this is kind of the point of the live stream, is kind of just take you guys with us for
Oh no.
your life. May have partially dropped. So I was switching towers. It says we're back on.
Walking might not work.
It's back. Might have been switching towers.
So this one's us.
Bags are inside.
Yeah.
Here, you want to open it? See if we can.
I'm sure it's locked.
Little cabana.
It's down, it's locked. If it's up, it's unlocked.
All right, then I'll properly put my shoes on.
Look at the fantastic port.
Yeah. So, yeah. Floating, I'm good.
No, I'm gonna do the Miami Beach over
There you go.
Miami Beach over there. It's pretty. So, I don't know if Mike talked about it. The cruise port here is an island between Miami Beach and Miami over there. So they've got all the cruise ships on one side of the port and then all the shipping freighters on the other side right over there. If you ever get to Miami, take a little harbor cruise and it takes you around this island and towards Star Island where all the big famous houses are. It's really, really cool. Very nice. If you go back, I think Mike's got a live stream, Carter's got a live stream from March when we did that with, was it the Miners Conference we were down here for? Miners Disrupt. We took a boat around the island here. It's really, really a fun night on the water. You almost done? Does BBT have a construction background? No, he is a tech guy. Handyman is not his strong suit. Ask him about a bridge. Current temperature is warm. I'd say 81, but it's humid. It was supposed to be rainy today, but it's not. But it's really sticky. But it's only going to get warmer. I think it's 85 in Aruba, 90s in the DR.
Yeah.
Okay, we can go out this way.
All right, we're gonna take a walk, my dudes. What happened with the mineral oil project? We're still working it. It's EC 200 or EC 1000 fluid. BBT Todd and BBT Ray are going to be taking care of that this next week. Yeah, it's our. I understand. Oh, and let's take a little walk through. What do you want? So we want to go inside? We'll see if the network stays up. We'd love to see some updates on that project. Somebody says I would love to see some updates on it too. We had BBT Todd in last week. We had to pick up some S19s that we're putting in the farm, so we're putting some Bitcoin miners in there. So we picked up 9 S19s.
So we're coming up on the Pagan Anchor Bar, which is Guy Fieri's smokehouse here on the ship. They've got brewery tanks and barbecue. For lunch, you can have this little buffet thing outside for free, but at night it's a paid dinner, but it smells great.
Oh yeah, that smells great.
Guy, say hi.
Hello. Oh my goodness, that smells amazing.
It does smell great. You want to try something? I'll grab you a plate.
Just a small amount of the pulled pork or pulled, yeah, champion. Yeah, the champion pork cut. Oh my dudes. This BBT is an amazing tour guide. She knows everything up and down this boat, my dudes. We're gonna get some.
I'll hold the plate and I'll feed you.
Oh, you're precious.
can't hold the camera and then
Thank you, sir.
it's a first day. Give it 10.
What's the average
All right,
cost
so
of getting into
potato salad,
mining
yes,
Bitcoin? So you can order right now on shop.bitmain.com in S19 104 terahash unit for about $12,000. What about Ergo? So we covered a little bit about Ergo. You know, Ergo had, you know, a little bit of, you know, founders funds, which are okay. I mean, they got to be able to build something, but I had a little detail on Ergo when it came to, oh, there we go. You know, I think it's okay. I don't personally mine it, though.
Now, you might be asking, where is my muster station?
Here is...
Well, it's on your boarding pass or your sound sign card. So go now, get it out of the way, and spend the rest of your afternoon enjoying the Pagan Anchor Barbecue,
Oh,
the
Jesus.
spa, or maybe even the rose course.
Which one do you want?
Sriracha.
Oh, this one looks nice.
Sriracha.
I got the Kansas City with sriracha, and you got what?
Okay, I got mashed and a carrot.
Oh, my
You want to
dudes.
sit down for 2 seconds?
Yeah, that's fine. We're going to take you guys through. These live streams have a little bit of everything.
Would you like a glass of water?
Yeah, water would be great. I'm just taking you guys with us here on this. I know it's a little different content than normal, but we're still answering some crypto stuff. I mean, to go back to Ergo, I mean, it needs to be a little more research for me. I took, I don't know, about a day to research and just look through, you know, because there was some things about Cardano on it and being able to mine. And I was trying to understand some of that structure that they have, and it doesn't jump off the page to me. Yeah, S19J Pro, $12,064 right now. Vanessa's on here. She goes, she's always that nice. Oh, thank you.
Don't drop it.
Try some of this. What is
Champion pork butt
champion pork butt
with sriracha
with
barbecue.
sriracha barbecue? This is really good.
This sausage is great too.
Why is this thing not floating? There we go. Yeah. How old am I? 43.
For 2 more days.
For 2 more days. And then I turned 44. November 15th is my birthday.
And Vanessa's.
Yeah, BBT Vanessa's birthday is the same day. What's our biggest obstacle in the mining industry? I would say right now, fairly priced equipment. The supply chains are so messed up right now that an S19 on Bitcoin, let's start with Bitcoin. S19 for Bitcoin should be around $8,000. Around that $75 per hash, terahash rate. But they're a lot more than that right now. GPUs, 6800 non-XT should be $479. That's what MSRP was, and they're like $1,100. So its equipment is right now the biggest hurdle. Because if crypto came back down a lot, you would have some serious capitulation on the hardware side because the demand would just fall off. MSRP is a joke for show. Well, in that last video I tried to explain what MSRP. For years I worked in a 3-tier system at the creator standpoint when I worked for Anheuser-Busch. And your MSRP is designed around your recapture your R&D cost over a period of time, plus a margin that you're trying to make. So when a manufacturer puts an MSRP, they're designing that around a 3-tier system. The producer, and then the producer sends that over to a wholesaler, and a wholesaler sells that to a retailer if it's a retail market, and then the retailer's got to make margin. So MSRP is a suggested rate at retail that you should be able to price something at. And everybody in that 3-tier system should make some revenue to stay in business. So going back to that design of the 6800 non-XT, you would have at $479, they're making money. They're making their R&D back over their schedule that they were supposed to. But scalpers bought the cards and started selling them for $1,100, $1,200. So when you start looking at, well, are they the manufacturer's still gonna let those scalpers do it? No, the manufacturer's gonna be like, okay, if the demand is that high, then we're gonna take that margin and they're gonna raise the price. So the original MSRP kind of goes out the window, and now they're just making tons and tons of margin. Now it offsets some of their original schedule, because now they're probably going to produce more since the demand's a lot higher, and it kind of throws off their original R&D factors, because now some of their production, the laid-in cost, all that goes up. Shippings went up in price, so you do have them not making all that margin from the original MSRP, because you have everything else costing more down the supply chain. But does it cost like 3x more? No, that's ridiculous. Inflation of goods are 6.5% up, 6.2%. Even if you were looking at double price, 100%, the price of that card should be $800, not $470. You know, from $479 to $850 to $900, not $1,100. So it's one of the biggest issues with MSRP.
Is the sriracha sauce hot?
No. What do you think will happen with POS networks like Matic if ETH goes to POS? Well, when ETH goes to POS, it doesn't change anything with Matic. When ETH 2.0 fully deploys, then you have potentially plasma chains and side chains and all that, where you have layer 2. So don't confuse proof of stake with layer 2. They're different.
Strong on the bottom.
I'm trying some more of this pork, my dudes. Keep the questions coming, my dudes. We'll keep this live for about another, 15 minutes or so. We'll wrap it up right at an hour stream. What are you eating? It is a pulled pork on the boat.
Guy Fieri's. Pagan Anchor
Smoke.
Pagan Anchor Smokehouse. Delicious.
That's one cool thing about live streams is people kind of
jump in and out,
and they're like, dude, what is that dude eating right now? That's why I love live streams. I'll poll real quick. There's 70 of you guys back still online. So what do you guys want more of these streams when we're in ports? So when I get into ports, I should have enough bandwidth to be able to do this. Is food tasty? Explain Ravencoin's future. Yes, the food is very tasty. Ravencoin's future is this whole week. We'll figure out what's on the minds of some of the key developers of it, that are doing it, and see what we can bring to you guys from a content related to that.
I like that there's a lot more little water stations on this boat than before.
Vanessa is our editor. So yes, Vanessa is there.
Yes.
I'm saving her a little bit of time today by
He's
doing
probably
live
gonna
stream.
watch
Water. Lots of water.
Miami is hot.
Miami is very hot. Is this a cherry?
Yes, it's for
Is
you.
it a cherry for me?
I'm sure that's just what they wanted to see.
It is what it is, my dude. Somebody has to splice that in. It's not going to look good. I set myself up. Somebody goes, that's hot. We are not reminding Raptorium. I'll probably try it. I did research a little bit into it, and I watched a couple of videos from one of the lead developers, and he seems like pretty cool dude. It reminds me of the reason why some people make different coins. Like they want to make a change or make some updates, and that's the way to do it.
Ready?
I think so. You guys want to see some more of
Let's
this
move.
ship before we
Leave it.
yeah, leave the stuff. All right, let's swap around here. Let's take a little switch.
So the next restaurant down the line is Bonsai. They don't do a lunch thing like that.
There we go.
That'd be fantastic if they had sushi on the railing.
All right, my dudes. Miami in the background. Are you ever coming to Minneapolis? Maybe. Farms in Wisconsin. Minneapolis isn't too far. You know, earlier when we had some folks on, they were asking if anybody would want to do a mining cruise. We'll have to plan that.
A BBT cruise.
A BBT cruise, mining specific cruise, where folks that are in mining are wanting to. Somebody says, "Enjoy, Carter. You should unplug." I will unplug. We're gonna be on this boat for 2 days, sailing to the South Bahamas.
No, we're going to Aruba.
Aruba, well, it's in that general area.
South Caribbean.
South Caribbean. There we go. I'm geographically
Literally
challenged.
20 miles off the coast of South America.
Yeah. A lot of stuff going on there.
Well, that's the
What kind of business model are you running with? Selling and hodling? Selling what we need to sell for offset of power cost, and hodling as much as we can otherwise, yes. And also dollar cost averaging sometimes into other coins when they pull back.
So cherry on top is the candy strap.
How's the quality of this video, guys? I have it set to 1080p. Hopefully it's been pretty good. Is COVID not a dangerous factor? Well, I'm going to tell you the amount of everybody on this ship has to be tested. You have to show that you've taken a COVID vaccine, and you had to be tested before you got on the boat within 72 hours. We got tested on Thursday.
Yeah.
And got our results this morning at 3 a.m. To show that we were negative. What do you got going on? Do you want to go inside?
I don't know that it's going to work inside.
Oh,
I
well.
mean, ships are made out of metal.
Ships are made out of metal. You heard it here first, folks.
Shut it.
Have a great cruise. Nice to hear you, man. Here, well, the Titanic was made of metal. We saw where that got. Well, I don't think there's going to be an iceberg where we're
There's
going.
an iceberg in the Caribbean. We got problems.
I think our only risk is maybe a comet coming down, hitting the water, and maybe giving us a ride, like a surfboard. But
Thanks
other
for
than
putting that out into the universe.
thanks for putting that. Hey, random events, man. I watched on the way here Quiet Place 2, and that scared me enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, no, quality is great, they say. Well, I saw Tron just pinged me on Twitter. They're doing their mustard
We need to do
stuff
that.
too.
We
We're gonna
just
do
need to go and check in.
We're gonna do our mustard thing that we need to do.
Mustard?
Mustard? Is it mustard?
Mustard.
Mustard.
The mustard.
Hey, I already had somebody wearing me out about not speaking right. I say words that don't exist a lot. It's okay. That's one of BBT Carter's flaws.
If you're on the port side, it's mustard. If you're on the what's the other side? Starboard, it's ketchup. Ketchup and mustard. That's what we're talking about. All right, my dudes. So we're gonna go try to find some other Ravencoin folks in Tron, and then we'll have a video later. Maybe. I mean, we're gonna be going ship out. We probably won't be able to upload anything until we get into a port tomorrow. So. No, we don't go to port till Tuesday.
Yeah, so we might be dark for 2 days because we do have satellite
2
internet.
days.
So we'll try to upload some content for you guys, but we're gonna try to go now check in with some stuff.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun, my dudes. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing this content. Please, please, please put questions down if you want me to ask Tron and the team. If you are interested in Ravencoin and its future and the things that are being developed, please put questions in there. And if you see your question asked, just like it up. And then I will ask those on that stream with Tron. All right, my dudes? Are they worried about the 43% wallet? We'll ask those questions. I think that's Binance. I think it's Binance's wallet, by the way, but we'll find out if we can, if it's a known address. 43% wallet.
I think one of the other boats are leaving.
Somebody's honking hard.
Because there was
Ravencoin stream probably 2 days from now. We'll have some other content on it.
MSC Margalia's in port. There was a
All right.
Caribbean ship. Yeah.
All right, my dudes. I will catch you guys in a bit if I can figure out how to shut the stream down. And yes, all right. Peace.